Let's react to this clip.
My baby daddy quit his job as an electrician where he was making over six figures a year to work a minimum wage job at a fast food place just so he wouldn't have to pay me $3,000 a month in child support. Is that not ridiculous? He would rather take a massive pay cut than to give me money to pay for his kids. I'm just so pissed right now because how the fuck am I going to pay for my mortgage? How am I going to pay for my mortgage? And you can tell me to go get a job, but then who's going to watch my kids? Because putting my kids in daycare is going to cost more than my freaking house. So what am I supposed to fucking do? He's trying to act like he should only be responsible for 50% of the kids' expenses, and he doubts that they cost $6,000 a month. But I'm like, sir, I am doing 100% of the raising. I feed these kids every night. I put them to bed. I wake them up in the morning. I get them dressed. You're not doing any of that. So you should be 100% taking care of them financially. I told him when we first got together I was never going to get a job and he was going to have to take care of me, and he was okay with that. But now we're divorced and he's saying that he shouldn't be paying my bills. My baby daddy quit.
The absolute insanity of women. Here's another woman looking online for one, social media clout, two, validation from strangers, most likely from women. The absolute insanity. This is the thing where women will go online so other women can support their delusion. Let's break this. Let's break this insanity down. Yes, she's crazy.
His job as an electrician where he was making over six figures a year to work a minimum wage job at a fast food place just so he wouldn't have to pay me $3,000 a month in child support. Is that not ridiculous?
That is a smart man and a tired man. This is the thing when women understand. It's not an easy time, not an easy thing to make six figures a year. It's not. It requires a lot of effort. And obviously this man is tired of making that kind of effort for an ungrateful woman. A woman who willingly destroyed his life. She destroyed his life. Most likely, she divorced him. Right? I guarantee you, throughout we learn it's very likely she was the one who divorced him. So this is the thing. Why would a man continue to sacrifice his time, his effort, his life to provide for an ungrateful bee? Why?
He would rather take a massive pay cut than to give me money to pay for his kids. I'm just so pissed right now because how the fuck am I going to pay for
his kids? This is the thing where I think it's absolutely disgusting of women. And here's things you guys don't know, or some of you guys don't know. I have a baby mom as well. As crazy as it is, I have a baby mom. So I understand it. This is the disgustingness of women. Where, okay, I have the situation where I want to see my kids. I want to see my kids. But I'm not allowed to. Right? I fight with her and it's like, no, you're not going to see my kids. You're not going to take my kids away from me. What she's saying, you're not going to take my kids. You know, you're not going to take my time away from my kids. Or you're not going to see my kids. You're going to see my kids when I say you can see my kids. But you need to give money for your kids. So when it's like, okay, when I want to see my kids. No, it's not. It's our kid. It's not, you're not gonna see my kids, right? You're not gonna see her kids. But when it's money, it's your kids. That's the insanity of men dealing with women. His kids, but now you made the situation where he can barely see his kids. But when it comes to money, it's his kids. That's disgustingness of a lot of women.
my mortgage? How am I going to pay for my mortgage? And you
It's your mortgage, not his. This is the thing where women think that child support is to subsidize your life. You're an adult. You're an adult. It's like maybe rent could be helpful, but at the end of the day, they're your kids as well. This is the insanity of a lot of women. Women view child support from men as paying for everything. You know, paying for a woman's rent or mortgage, her groceries, her bills, her, I don't know, luxury expenses. It's like you got rid of the man and you still expect the man to pay for everything, to subsidize your life. That's the insanity of women. And that is the sadness of a lot of men, where women can get rid of the man and still the court system or women expect the men to still subsidize or provide for their life. So all the responsibilities, none of the authorities, none of the benefits.
You can tell me to go get a job, but then who's going to watch my kids? Because putting my kids...
Who's going to watch your kids? You got to be an adult. You need to get a job. Absolutely, this is what I'm saying. Absolute insanity that the court system will give a woman the kids when she doesn't have a job. She needed that man to be able to take care of their kids. But when she left that man, she should take up the slack of now taking care of their kids, which is now with her, seems like most of the time, which is absolute. This is what I'm saying, right? It's absolute insanity. Here's a man that, you know, is more stable. He has a job, but he's not even garnered 50% of custody. But she said taking care of the kids 100%. So that's insanity. Absolute insanity.
Kids in daycare is going to cost more than my freaking house. So what am I supposed to fucking do? He's trying to act like he should only be responsible for 50% of the kids' expenses, and he doubts that they cost $6,000 a month. But I'm like, sir, I am doing 100% of the raising. I feed these kids every night. I put them to bed. I wake them up.
So she that's what I said. She has the kids. Seems like 100% or close to it. No duh, this man is tired. How can you have my kids? Like this is the thing we don't understand. If they lived in the same house, at least he gets to see his kids at night and in the morning or whatever. But now, since most likely she left him, he barely gets to see his kids. So why? This is the thing where women don't understand. So I have to pay 100% for 0% of any benefit. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? And that's the reality of a lot of men. That is the reality of me. Where I've been through with my baby mom where I'm not allowed to see my kids. It was made hard for me to see my kids. But I'm expected or I'm demanded to pay when I've been not allowed to see my kids. That's why I understand the hardships of a lot of men. Here's the delusional woman where he barely or if at all get to see his kids, yet he's expected to pay 100%. 100% without, where's the benefit? Yes, it's his kids, but he can't even see his kids or play with his kids or raise his kids or be there for his kids. Because a woman that's so selfish, she's took his kids away. She divorced him, destroyed a man, right? Destroyed his life. I guarantee you his life was destroyed. And he felt it. This is the absolute insanity. Where I've said it before. It is a luxury that most Americans cannot afford. A stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home wife. Most Americans cannot afford that. This man could, yet she still left that man. She still left that man and still expected that man to provide her that luxury. No, girl, you don't deserve it. You don't qualify for that luxury anymore. Now you have to be an adult and take care of your adult responsibilities. Your adult responsibilities is taking care of your kids, half the 50% responsibilities of your kids, while he should take care of the 50% of his responsibility for the kids. Because sadly, you destroyed his life. You took away his kids. You destroyed his family. This is the consequences of your actions. Here's a grown-ass woman doesn't want to suffer for the consequences of her actions. She wants to benefit from it. She doesn't have to deal with the man that she chose to marry, chose to love, chose to give her body to, chose to give children to. She doesn't want to have to deal with him. So she left him, divorced him, took his kids, destroyed his life, and still expect him to give her the luxuries. Still expect him to take away her adult responsibilities. Raising your kids 100%, I'm sorry, most people don't have that luxury. Most people don't have the luxury to be a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home wife. You are sadly going to have to get a job and put your kids in daycare. Because if you wanted that luxury, you should have stayed with that man. You should have stayed with that man that provided that luxury. You didn't want that. Now you have to suffer for it. There are consequences to every action, good or bad consequences. Well, she is suffering from that bad consequences.
Up in the morning, I get them dressed. You're not doing any of that, so you should be 100%.
He's not doing any of that because you took it away from him. You took away his children. And this is the thing. Let's say this. Even if they were together, even if they were married, and he was doing 100% of the financial responsibility, not every man can easily do the other stuff. He should. I mean, he should be active in his children's life, but life is not perfection. Life is not perfect. So if a man can, like I said, it is a luxury that most families cannot afford. A stay-at-home wife, a stay-at-home mom. Most Americans cannot afford that. If a man provided that luxury, that is already something very rare and something that most men cannot afford. So now to expect the man to also be very, very present in his children's lives, because I take it with a grain of salt that men are absolutely zero active in their children's life. That's, if he was a man good enough to fully provide for his family, I seriously doubt that he's zero been active in his children's life. So she took away that chance to be more active in his children's life. And this is the thing. Even if she was 100% the nurturer, which she should, well, he was providing her and their children a luxury that most men can't afford. Right? For her to raise the children how supposedly they see fit. Fully.
Taking care of them financially. I told him when we first got together I was never going to get a job and he was going to have to take care of me, and he was okay with that. But now we're divorced and he's saying that he shouldn't be paying my bill.
Yes, he was okay with that when you got married. You broke that contract. You broke that thought. He was okay with marrying you and fully providing for you. You thought, I'm going to leave this man and he's still going to be okay with it. What? Does that make sense? Why would he still be okay with it? His supposed benefit of being okay with providing for you is that he got to marry you. Now that you're divorcing him, now that you divorced him, why would he still be okay with providing for you when he gets zero benefit from it? The absolute entitlement, the audacity that women have to think that men should sacrifice themselves for no benefit. Men should sacrifice themselves for no benefit. The absolute audacity, the absolute entitlement to think that men are so like garbage that they need to sacrifice for no benefit. Absolutely disgusting. This is why I said women are disgusting. Manipulators, liars, and truly, in my opinion, the more toxic gender. Absolutely disgusting. Because here's a man that gave this woman something that most men couldn't give. A life where he fully provides for her, where she doesn't have to worry. And yet she was willing to destroy this man. Absolute disgusting. Absolute disgusting. And then she still expects this man, this destroyed man, to accept that fate. To continue to live that life. Absolute disgustingness. And this is why I support men. And why I support good men. Because in my opinion, I think that was a good man. That man that would willingly support his wife in this. Try to support his family. I think that's a good man, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not saying this amazing man because I don't know him that well, but I think he's a good man already. That, you know what? He didn't want his wife, the woman that he loved, to struggle, okay, in the work environment where she can fully take care of their kids, which most women find more enjoyment. Most women find more enjoyment in the nurturing, in the taking care of their family, taking care of their kids. He gave her the opportunity. But she didn't care. She was willing to destroy this man's life because she felt it. Because she was tired of this man, most likely, or bored of this man, or didn't want to be around this man anymore. Disgustingness. Absolutely disgusting.